I am Dr. Amarjit Kaur. I am Professor of Accounting and Dean at Faculty of Commerce and Management, Gurugram University, Gurugram. I have 28 years of experience, which includes teaching at 2 universities in USA, and I have authored about 45 research papers and 8 books. I am very happy to be present here to connect with you to discuss the topic on sales book. So, as the name suggests, the sales book is a special purpose book which records transactions pertaining to sales which are made on credit. So I will repeat, a book which is to record the transaction pertaining to sale of goods or service a business deals in, but the sale should be on credit. Only then a transaction qualifies to be part of this book if the goods or the services are sold on credit. So let's discuss this little in length. There could be a possibility that business is selling goods on cash as well. So the question comes in, shall we be recording that sale in the sale book? No, the answer is no. Why? Because sale book is a special purpose book, subsidiary book, the other way we may call it. And in a special purpose book, we have to record only transactions which pertain to selling of goods and services. This is the first condition. When I say goods and services means what? It means the goods and the services a business generally sell. One company could be selling furniture, another company could be selling mobile handsets, the third company could be selling grocery, the fourth company could be selling electronic parts, right? So whatever is my normal trading product or good, and the services, it could be a service company, for example chartered accountants, for example plumbing services, for example your education services, tuitions, right? So whatever the product or the service a business deals in, if the business is selling it on cash, then that particular transaction is not going to be recorded in the sales book. So only those goods and services which are meant to be resold, if a company purchases and meant to be resold for the purpose of generating revenue, those goods and services if are sold on credit, only then those transactions would form part of this book, right? Because I have seen many students, many people who practice this subsidiary book, they sometimes commit a mistake. They do record transactions which are on cash, but of course they pertain to good or service a business deals in, right? So a special purpose book, this sales book which we are discussing, is going to curtail its limits, is going to record only those transactions which pertains to goods and services purchased on credit, right? Another point regarding sales book is this, that this sales book does not work as an account. If you refer to my previous discussions and my previous lectures on cash book or subsidiary books, where I discuss that subsidiary books have a special purpose, right? And the cash book does record transactions pertaining to any sale or purchase made on cash or any other transaction where the cash inflows or outflows takes place. But the important is cash book works as an account as well. Whereas what I am making a point here is that the sale book does not work as an account, which means if a business is keeping sales book, the business needs to open up an account in the ledger book separately. Whereas in the cash book works as a book, which means a journal and account both, and we need not to open a separate account in the ledger book, right? So this is one important point about sales book. Now the sale book is closed at the end of accounting period and the balance is transferred to sales account. once, this accounting period could be questionable. So now you may be thinking what could be accounting period. So the accounting period, the length of the accounting period would depend on the need of the business. One particular business may be closing the sales book on every week, on weekly basis. There could be other business which is closing the sale book on quarterly basis or monthly basis or fortnightly basis. And there could be a rare business where they are closing the book on yearly basis even, right? So which means what? Which means that there's no such restriction on the length of the accounting period for keeping a sale book, because this is just a journal book, right? So special journals, a special book recording transactions of goods and services which are sold on credit, right? So the need would be basis on the number of the transactions or the data required by management. How frequently management demands the information of credit sales. How frequently the manager need to refer to this data or the total of the sale book, which means the total amount of sales of goods and services carried on credit, right? So the number of transactions and the requirement of the data by the managers who are going to use this data will determine the length of the period a business would like to keep a sale book. Okay, this is the second important point regarding sales book. Now I am coming to the format of the sale book. Here in front of you is the format. The format of the sale book comprises 5 columns. The first column is date, the second column is particulars, the third column pertains to outward invoice number, the fourth column is ledger folio, and the last column is amount, right? So in all there are 5 columns. I will spend 2 minutes to discuss what all is going to be part in these columns, or what are we going to record in these columns. The first column, as suggests, very simple and straight, we are going to put the date of the transaction pertaining to sales of goods and services on credit, right? There could be 10 different transactions made with different parties on the same date. So we are going to record all the 10 transactions on the same date, followed by the next transaction on the next date. The next date could be the very next day, or 2 days after from the first entry, or the 3 days after the first entry, or 10 days after the first entry. That doesn't matter. The important is in the date column we are going to record all the transactions in chronological order. This is the requirement, this is the guideline that all journals, either a journal proper or a special journal which we are discussing, the sales book or the sales special book, they are going to record transaction based on the date in a chronological order, in the date order, right? The second column, particulars, would write the name of the party or name of the business to whom we have sold on credit, right? So in journal, the sales are always having a credit balance. The sales revenue is having a normal balance as credit balance, and we debit the party or the business to whom we have sold on credit. It means this sales book is basically presenting the debit part which we are writing, because we are writing the name. We are just writing X, Y, Z, etc., to whomsoever we are selling, along with few more details. And what are those details? We do write, as a matter of practice, we do write the name of the product, the units of the product, unit price of the product, and then if any discount being given to the person to whom we have sold or to the business to whom we have sold, which means this particular column or the detail column is quite descriptive in nature. It helps the editors to find out that how many units at what price were sold and was any trade discount allowed or not. Okay. So in after that, in the third column, it says outward invoice number, and in this column we do write the number of the invoice which we sent to the buyer. If I am selling, means I am selling it to some buyer, so I am raising some invoice. I means I as a business, right? So I am raising an invoice, and that invoice would have some number at the top of it. That particular number is going to be written in this column, and of course it is very clear and sure that this number is unique for each transaction, right? So if we are selling more than one product and they all are the part of one invoice, so for all the products, if for example I have sold fans, I have sold refrigerators, I have sold television, I am an electronic shop, to X person, to the X party, so the invoice would be same, the invoice number would be same. So this is unique to that particular transaction which comprises more than one product, right? So otherwise one transaction may have only one entry, one transaction may have only one product or one service. So it could be either way. So both of the things are possible and quite common in business, right? But you should have a clarity that we put outward invoice number in the third column. The ledger folio number remains blank at this stage when we are passing journal entries in the sales book. This is going to be filled later on when we complete the ledger account, right? The last column is amount, and here the net amount, which is net of discount, is written. All right. So this is how the format looks. So now we will take up one small case on the sales book. So let's have a look at the sales book, this caselet. This says enter the following transactions in the sales book of Messrs. Nukunj and Brothers for January 2021. On January 1st, this company, which is Nukunj Brothers, they have sold to Messrs. Sophia 100 boxes of washing powder at the rate of 200 each and 50 boxes of detergent cakes at the rate of 100 each, and they offered a discount of 10%. So if you read it carefully, the company seems to be into grocery business or detergent business, right? What did they sell? They sold two products to the same company, Sophia Limited, Sophia Brothers, Sophia Messrs. Sophia. So 100 boxes of washing powder into 200 means 20,000, and 50 boxes of detergent cakes at the rate of 100 means 5,000, which becomes in total 25,000, right? And if we subtract 10% discount on 25,000 means my discount would be 2,500. So my net amount which will go in my sales book amount column would be 22,500. So I am going to show you the solution with the format. So this is what I am discussing right away. If you look at the first transaction, right? So in the amount column we have written 22,500, and in the descriptor we have, in the particulars or the description column, we have written the name of the company. Here it is Messrs. Sophia, right? And the further details are given. Unit price, as I said, is given. Total value is 25,000 and less the discount of 2,500. So that's how 22,500 is the total amount of the transaction written in the amount column. Now coming to the second transaction. The second transaction has happened on January 5th. This says sold Messrs. AK Brothers 50 boxes of peanut butter at the rate of 300 each and 50 boxes of pancakes at the rate of 50 each, and offered a trade discount of 5%. So if you multiply 50 boxes of peanut butter with the unit price of 300, it comes out to be 15,000, right? And 15,000 plus the value of pancake, which is 50 boxes at the rate of 50, so 2,500, which means my total transaction amount without any discount is 15,000 plus 2500, which becomes 17,500, right? So let's go to the solution and have a look how it will look in the sales book. So the same thing which I was discussing, total amount 17,500 less the discount of 825. So the net amount after discount has been written in the amount column, and this is how you should be posting in the sales book, and this was the second transaction. Okay, now I am coming to the third transaction. The third transaction is on January 10th. This says sold to Messrs Mohit and Sons 120 boxes of coffee at the rate of 200. So which means Messrs Mohit and Sons, this name will go in the detail column, in the particular columns. I will show you solution after a minute. So how much amount should we write? In the description we will write 120 boxes at the rate of 200, which becomes 24,000, right? And also the 50 boxes of tea bags at the rate of 150 each, so which becomes 7,500. So 24,000 of coffee boxes and 7,500 worth tea bags. So total becomes 15,000 plus 7,500 means 22,500. This is the my gross value of the transaction, and my discount is 5%. So now let's go to the solution. If you look at the solution, in the particulars we have written the name of the company, right, and 25,000 plus 7,000. So we have the discount amount given. So we need to subtract the discount of 1,575. So 31,500 is the value of total amount less 1,575. So 29,925 is the total value of the transaction which we have written in the amount column, right? I hope you are with me. So this is the third transaction which pertains to the sales book, because we sold some item, two items rather in this example, to Messrs Mohit and Sons, and both the items were of a regular nature, which means the company deals in those items and they were sold on credit. Now coming to the next transaction on January 15th, it says sold on cash to Messrs Sartaj Brothers 110 boxes of pencils at the rate of 10 each, which means 1100 in total for the pencils, and 50 boxes of Fevi-sticks at the rate of 5 each, which means 250. So 1100 plus 250 means 1350 is my total transaction cost. And it further says and allowed a discount of 8%. Now this is very tricky and very interesting. You know, there's a likelihood that you may commit mistake as a student if you are attempting this question. Why? Read this question again, the statement again. It says sold on cash. This is very, very important. Sold on cash to Messrs Sartaj Brothers 110 boxes of whatever, item it could be. But important is that we are preparing sales book. We are not preparing cash book. And this particular transaction has happened on cash, which means this transaction doesn't qualify to be part of sales book, irrespective that I have sold something which I sell on regular basis, pencils and Fevi-sticks, because I am a grocery store plus the stationery store. So I am selling all this item. This is a good I deal in. This is a product I deal in on regular basis. Even then, we cannot record this transaction in the sales book, and the reason, as I said, because the transaction has happened on cash. So this particular transaction is not going to form the part of sales book. So I hope you could understand that we are going to skip this transaction in the sales book. Instead of that, we will write the date January 15 and we will write no entry or no transaction or no recording. So this is a way to attempt this transaction. Okay. So coming to the next transaction which has happened on January 25th. So this transaction says sold on credit from Forever Furniture 2 old tables at the rate of 12,000 each and 2 old chairs at the rate of 1,500 each and offered a discount of 10%. So again I would question you, what do you think? You think this transaction should form part of the sales book? Please think about it. Think carefully. Yes, tell me, is this answer, is your answer yes or no? So if your answer is yes, then my dear friends, you are wrong. Now the question comes in, why? Why should we not be recording this transaction in the sales book? So for that, let's reread the transaction. It says sold on credit to Forever Furniture 2 old tables at the rate of 12,000 each, which means I as a business, I was having 2 tables which were old, which I was not using. And mind you, I am not into selling of furniture. So far all the transactions, they pertain to either furniture or they pertain to either grocery or stationery, which means I am a grocery or a stationery shop. I am not a furniture shop, right? So if you remember, the name of the company was given in the question in the beginning, Nukunj and Brothers, but it was not mentioned that Nukunj and Brothers, what kind of business they are in. But so that situation is quite possible. You may be given such kind of cases that where only the name of the business, like Nukunj in this case, is given in the question or in the caselet, but the nature of the business is missing. So what do we do as a student, as a professor, as an expert, as an accountant? In that case, this becomes my responsibility, right, as a user, as somebody who's working on the question or the problem, to find out the nature of the business for whom I am preparing the sale book, right? So if you read, in that case, it becomes essential, it becomes imperative that I do read the question further, right, and I try to find out the nature of the business. So since in the previous 3-4 transactions, it is clear that Nukunj and Brothers are into the business of selling grocery plus stationery items. So it means if they are selling furniture, which is on January 25th, the transaction under discussion, they are selling and they are selling on credit and they have given discount even, right? So one transaction, one part of the requirement is been fulfilled. That transaction has happened on credit. So you may question yourself or you may question me that why it cannot be part of sales book. And I hope I have explained it to you so far and by this time, that since the nature of the business is into grocery or stationery, so this Nukunj and Brothers, they do not deal in furniture. Thus, this particular transaction cannot be recorded in the sales book, though it was carried on credit. There was a credit discount. The amount is 24,000 for table and 3,000 for your chairs. Total amount is 27,000. Irrespective, all the information is available. Even then, we are not going to make it as a part of sales book. Coming to the last transaction, January 30th, sold to Raj Brothers 10 boxes of cheese slices at the rate of 100 each, which means 1,000, and 50 boxes of cheese cubes, which means multiply by 120 each, which means 6,000. So my total transaction cost is 6,000 plus 1,000, which means 7,000, and we have extended a discount of 10%. Now think, Shall we take this transaction to sales book or not? Answer is yes. We should be carrying this transaction to the sales book. And if you look at the solution, this is how this particular transaction will be taken to the sales book. Total price of the transaction is 7,000, less 600 is the discount, and your total amount in the amount column will go 6,400, right? So I hope you could gather. I have consciously chosen examples where we have goods and services sold on credit. We have example of furniture sold on credit. We have example of goods and services sold on cash. So this was a small caselet, but I have tried to cover all aspects of sales book so that it helps you to comprehend the topic very well. So thank you for your presence. Thank you for being with me the last 30 minutes. Thank you very much, viewers.